One of the biggest superpowers I think you can have in life is being underestimated. Everyone told me I was crazy when I packed up my bags from Toronto after selling my first company. It took a one-way flight to Indonesia. Oh fuck, I don't know, man. I think it's gonna come in red. We'll try to tell this story on the way down. Again, one of the biggest superpowers is being underestimated. You know, most people tell you, even filming at the top of Mount Pisch in the Dolomites is fucking crazy, especially when you know it's calling for thunderstorms. But no, we said, why not? Every single business I've ever started has always been in an industry where I had no idea what I was doing. My first business, Bitmaker, starting a technology school at 21, I had no idea. Hell, I wasn't even that good at coding myself. My second business, I had never started anything in a regulated industry in my life. People told me I was crazy. My family was worried about me. Friends thought I was losing my mind. But sure enough, we did just fine. Third business, Founder OS. People told me that my expectations were too big. You know, the idea of helping 100 million founders is crazy. But sure enough, we're here to prove them wrong. Being underestimated, it's not a disadvantage. It's one hell of an advantage. There's three reasons why I believe this to be true. Number one is, people are gonna doubt you. Doubt is fuel for founders. Now, I love the old clips of Michael Jordan before big games, if someone goes and says something to him, you know, just really pisses him off.
If you're gonna high five, talk trash, now I had a bone to pick with you. You know, I'm supposed to kill this guy. That's all I needed. It became personal with me.
And that was all the fuel he needed to go and absolutely spank that other team. Similarly, when you think about, you know, getting into a space you've maybe never been in it, people tell you, you know what, you don't have a clue what you're doing. You should give up now. Now, you can use that doubt as fuel to prove those people wrong, to show them what you're made of. This is the fuel that I needed when I started my first business, Bitmaker. People telling me there was no way I could start a technology school and train full stack software engineers in 9 weeks, get them jobs at companies like Shopify, Facebook, Google. People were like, no way, it's impossible. Or when I was raising capital for Herb and I had gotten over 287 no's, people told me just to pack it in. It's over. But amidst all of that underestimation, I proved all those motherfuckers wrong. And that is a sweet, sweet taste. Proving the doubters that you can pull it off. You know, the second piece of why being underestimated is one hell of an advantage is because when you're underestimated, people's actual expectations of you are low. That allows you to get into a space you've never been in before, and people don't see you as competition. So they'll tell you all their secrets. You can go and talk to competitors, ask them how they're doing things, because they don't think much about you. They'll tell you the mistakes they made early on and the things that you should avoid. It gives you the ability to just move in silence. You know, basically accumulate secrets across the industry because no one actually thinks you're gonna be able to pull it off. You know, Peter Thiel talks about how the best founders build monopolies based on secrets that only they know. And when you're underestimated, you know, you can go and accumulate a ton of data from, you know, people that have been in the space for a long, long time. And then you can learn from those people and you can hear the things that they say, you know what, we tried this, but it didn't work. Or this thing, we gave it 20 shots, but it's never worked in this industry. Now, I've heard these things time and time again. That's why I think one of the biggest advantages, again, when you're building, is to be completely fresh, to be a rookie. You know, I think experience oftentimes is overrated. Because with experience, people think old school. You know, they think the same old way. And at some point, you know, that can actually be something that just harms you because you can't see around corners. You can't think outside the box. You're too stuck in the old way of thinking. You know, there's actually a psychological principle behind this called the Dunning-Kruger effect. Overconfidence can actually screw you because it causes you to miss key facts. When you're being underestimated, don't worry about it. Stick to your course. All that matters is your own self-image of how you view yourself. Don't worry about how others view you. Don't cave to their way of thinking. The thing that separates entrepreneurs from 99% of people out there is an unwavering confidence, trust, mettle, and your own ability to pull off crazy shit. You know, your ability to persevere when other people would have given up a hell of a long time ago. The most legendary experiences of my life have always happened from just being doubted. That's why I think the third thing to keep in mind is that when you're underestimated, you get to strike from the shadows. Steve Jobs was famous for coming out of nowhere and dropping products that absolutely transformed the way, humanity used tools. Things like the iPhone or iPod, iMac. People underestimated Apple at times. They thought they were a done deal, headed for bankruptcy. But Steve knew that while he was being underestimated, he had some superpowers in the background that would allow him to strike out of nowhere.
Once you discover one simple fact, and that is everything around you that you call life was made up by people that were no smarter than you. You can change it. You can influence it. You can build your own things that other people can use. That's maybe the most important thing.
And the benefit here is that people are underestimating you so much that when you go and you drop something that's legendary, you just completely transform people's thinking. They go from doubters to fans in a split second. As I, go and continue to build, Founder OS, I'm helping founders all the time get over these limiting beliefs. This feeling like no one around them believes in what they're doing. Everyone's gonna tell you crazy until finally you're an overnight success. I think it's having that ability to just have faith. You know why you got into what you're doing. You have good reason for believing in yourself, no matter what people tell you. Now, for some of you, you need a couple more tools to help you. I get it. Being underestimated can be scary at times. Well, I've gone and spent the morning here while waking up with a iced Americano here in the Dolomites to go and prepare a little underestimation playbook for you. 47 systems you can go and get via the link in the description to go and help you overcome the doubters, the haters, the people that would rather see you fail. This channel is a channel for people that are about adventuring, doing the impossible, working from anywhere, building their dreams, despite what people say. We believe in freedom, or true freedom, the ability to control the 4 W's in life. Work where we want, when we want, on what we want, with whoever we want. We believe in serving a community of people that we love, working with people that we admire. And persevering, despite how many times you get knocked down. Whew. I want to thank you for being a part of the Founder Freedom Movement. This has been one hell of a journey, as you probably can tell. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Like and subscribe. Get that underestimation playbook, and let's get it.